Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a while, but today I'm back again playing along with a Lawn Fawnatics challenge. This one is already challenge 119 and it's crazy, but I had no excuse not participating this time. Just until this Sunday that is coming up, you can participate, and it's the Clean and Simple challenge. So I thought, well, having this theme or this challenge, I just had no excuse to not try it out and create something. Now, on the other hand, I know it has been a while that I created a challenge card for Lawn Fawnatics challenge. On the other hand, it has been a while that I used Lawn Fawn products, and it's a shame, I know. And I know that you also like Lawn Fawn, so I'm really sorry that it took me a while to create something with it. But yeah, sometimes you're just a bit stuck creatively, and lately I had a lot of luck with all of the new stems from my favorite things being inspired by it, and so I just put Lawn Fawn aside for a while. But today I'm using You Autumn Know and the Long Distance Hugs from Lawn Fawn. Both sets I got from the last release and I haven't used them ever, so truly a shame. But I'm changing that today, and I'm also using some colorful colored cardstock, stripping them up and aligning them to have a rainbow. Well, sort of a rainbow. I'm using Concord 9th cardstock. You know that I love it. The colors are perfect. I'm not using every color. I'm keeping it really light and bright. Why? Well, actually, while I was doing this card, I was watching the replay of the Pink Fresh Studio crafting hour with Jeff and Laura, and of course they did some rainbow cards stripping up things, and I just love it. I also love Concord the Night, as you know, and so I was inspired to try to make something cute using a rainbow. Now I made my rainbow using an adhesive sheet and some printer paper, and then I adhered this rainbow part on top of just my Transotype perfect coloring paper, and my idea was to have it sort of in the middle. But then my idea changed, and I thought, well, maybe I can put it down below and then I can add some leaves falling, and that sounded like a great idea. But without realizing it, as you can see here, I shifted that rectangle upwards to have it like I wanted, but it was overhanging my paper. As I intended originally to have my rainbows in the middle, I didn't realize that shifting the rectangle upwards, there just wasn't enough space. So let's change the idea again. I decided to take a smaller rectangle from this large cross-stitched rectangle Stackables. And so there will be some pieces overhanging, but that's also really cute. I don't mind. So I'm using this smaller version. I will use the bigger one to just create a wide panel to go behind my smaller panel. But as you know, here my idea changed twice in just 5 minutes. So I'm just getting the lay of the land again. I'm trying out where I'm going to position everything, and then I thought, why wouldn't I use more of that rainbow to go for the leaves? I know it's strange maybe to have a rainbow leaf, but having that rainbow going through, this is a clean and simple challenge, and I personally find that if you repeat colors or if you go in the same direction throughout your card, you sort of get the vibe of having a really clean and simple card. So I decided to white heat emboss these leaves on top of my rainbow paper, and then I'm going to die cut it later on with the matching dies. Now another thing that I'm going to white heat emboss is the sentiment hugs. I just love the fact that in the long distance hugs you have the big words, also the dies from it. And I just love it when you have a scripty word, you can die cut it, you have this gorgeous outline around it. So that's why I white heat embossed these hugs. The sending, I will just add black on top of my white paper, because that also goes together, white and black, black and white, it all goes. So I'm removing the excess embossing powder here, and then I will also heat set it, and then I can die cut everything in one go, the leaves and the hugs. So once I aligned my dies on top of my two pieces of paper, I just taped it down using some purple tape to not let it shift while running it through my die cutting machine. And I'm also going to die cut the hugs 2 more times out of black cardstock just to lift it up a bit and not to fiddle with thin foam squares, snipping it apart and such. So here I was trying the layout. I also thought placing the leaves with again the stripes horizontally so that it would run through. It would also be cool to have it diagonally, but since I had my stripes on the bottom horizontally, I decided to keep it simple by just having the same alignment of my stripes. I think if you would add the stripes that are the grounding for the mouse and the hugs in a diagonal way, I think it would be so cool to have the leaves in a diagonal way as well. That being said, to make this card really cute, I'm using, of course, one of the mice from this stem set. I just love all the mouse, well, you know what I mean, from Lawn Fawn. They are adorable. Every stem set with a mouse in it, I need to have it. So that's also why I bought this stem set. I'm not really an autumn kind of card maker. I barely made cards really in autumn themed stuff, but these mice are so cool, and they have other shapes and ways of sitting than the other mice that we already have from other stem sets, so it's really fun to all combine it. But for today's clean and simple card, just choosing one. So really simple coloring today using my Copics. The brown combination, the E18, E15, E33 was my first brown combination. I said it, I think, in the past once or twice, or I don't know. But that was my first brown combination, and it's a really fun one, I think. It also stands out in front of that rainbow, so that's why I chose these colors. So as I said, I also die cut the hugs twice just out of the black cardstock to just layer them on top of each other. And then the other images I will put some thin foam squares behind. If you don't have thin foam squares and you like just a bit of thickness, you can also just die cut those 2 more times if you want to, and just add that on the back of your image to add a bit of dimension. It's also really sturdy, so I can only recommend it. I always try to add as much thin foam squares as possible in the back of my images, so that's a way of doing that. But if you don't have it, definitely use some more paper if you want to. So here, as I said, layering that hugs on top of each other to make it a bit thicker. And then I'm going to adhere everything on top of my card base. So first, some adhesive roller, adding that white panel on top. And then I will add my smaller panel using some foam first. You can use score tape, you can use foam tape if you want to, depending on the dimension that you want to have. I decided to, well, I'm trying to use more foam, just some fun foam to help me with dimension, also a sturdy way to have complete back of your panel covered with the, well, with the dimension. So definitely do whatever you feel is good for you. Normally I use a lot of foam tape in the back, but I also have this foam tape, so why not keep it a bit cheaper than just using 10 straws of foam tape, you know? So I did that, and then I'm going to use some more liquid glue to add this panel on top of the other panel. Using liquid glue also gives you some wiggle room to get that in place where you want it to be. So I try to center it. It's not completely centered, of course, but it's sort of straight. So that's the most important thing. And then I can add all the rest. So I'm using some thin foam squares, as I said. I added it on the back, and then I'm placing that down. I also love the fact when you use a smaller panel on top of your bigger card base that there are some parts hanging off of the panel. It sort of gives the illusion that there is more going on behind the panel, but you can't see it because we snipped it off. So I'm going to do the same thing with the leaf here on top, just overhanging a bit that smaller panel. It's a bit more fun, I think. So that's what I'm doing here. Adding the second, trying to really have those lines as straight as possible. You can definitely use a T-square ruler or anything like that, but I just decided to eyeball that. And of course you can leave it like this. It's clean and simple. There is enough pop of a color. But recently I got these Tailored Expressions Tiny Diamonds. These are the pastel collection. And I saw that these colors, well, several of them, really resembled to the colors in the cardstock that I used from Concord the 9th. So I was ecstatic and I really wanted to use some. And after fiddling quite a bit, I decided upon adding 6 of them, if I'm not wrong, and just basing myself on the colors of the cardstock next to the diamond. So I'm going to fiddle a bit more here and there. I'm going to switch, add some of the darker pink as well, close by to the leaves. Even fiddling with it was a lot of fun because there are a lot of options again, but I didn't want to add too many, neither to still have that clean and simple feel to this card. So that's what I did. Also realized here that the blue was just perfect sea gloss, and I just was so over the moon. I'm so happy with these new embellishments, and I know I already have a lot of embellishments, but do we ever have enough embellishments? At some day I will have to stop buying things, but not now. So there is also another collection with the bold colors, and that one I also got, but these were just perfect for these cardstocks. So here again, still fiddling, but I ended up only adding embellishments next to the leaves, next to the color each time, and then I will add it using some liquid glue. And then this card will be finished. You can add more, you can add some glitter, you can add glossy accents if you want to. But I decided to leave it like this and just have fun with my rainbow clean and simple card. So that's it. That's my video and my inspiration for a clean and simple challenge at Lawn Fawn. So definitely participate if you have an idea. It's just until this Sunday, so there is still time to enter. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you like the end result. If you do, you can always give this one a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it. I want to thank you all for stopping by, and I wish you an incredible day, and I'll be back soon. Bye!